Here we are at our Chapter 5, Target 2, Problem 4a. We're asked to determine the end behavior for each, and then graph using a table of values. So right here at 4a, we see our polynomial. And just looking at our degree, we can see that it is this 5x cubed, so that's really the important piece that we want to look at when we're talking about kind of the end behavior. The rest of this is pretty much irrelevant, but let's go ahead and talk about the general shape of this thing. We notice that because it is x cubed, that is an odd exponent, and as a result, we should see an s doing something like this, or an s doing something like this. Now, because we're looking now at our leading coefficient being a positive 5, well, that should be rising from left to right, so this would be our rough general shape of the image that would form this polynomial. Now, just talking about the end behavior, as always, we're going to start off with as x goes towards infinity, f of x is doing what? Likewise, as x goes towards negative infinity, f of x is doing what? So for all of these, that's pretty much the general template of describing end behavior. Now let's go ahead and just draw a quick xy plane on top of this graph. So if we pretty much just threw this on there, here's our x-axis, here is our y-axis, or same thing as f of x. So as x goes to infinity, f of x is doing what? So in other words, as we go outward this way, we can see that our function is going towards positive infinity. So f of x would be going towards positive infinity. Alternatively, as x goes towards negative infinity, so as we go out this way, f of x is going down toward negative infinity. So there would be our description of our end behavior. So now it just says to basically graph using a table of values. What we'll do is we'll just choose maybe like -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, and we'll try those ones for right now. Maybe we'll get a good idea of what this thing is doing. So, alright, again, this is our x, this is our y, and for the sake of time, I think what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and find out what these values are. Pretty much you're just throwing them in the calculator for the entire polynomial and seeing what that comes out to be. So for -3, we ended up with -22. For -2, we get 0. For -1, we got 0 as well. For 0, we get 8. And for 1, we get 53. Now, in just graphing this, again, really rough sketch. -3, -22, we could see would be down here. -2, 0. It looks like it kind of comes up to be right around there. And then -1, 0 does the same thing. And then at 0, we see it go upward toward 8. And then at 1, we see it skyrocket toward 53. So overall, we would see an image doing something maybe like this. So, but again, it pretty much matches the red one that we pretty much saw. So again, though, that is our Chapter 5, Target 2, Problem 4a from our Chapter 5 study guide.